Today is Wednesday, February 25th, 2026. Welcome to the Survivor Fans Podcast. I'm Joanne.
And I'm Stacy.
And this is our recap of the 3-hour premiere of Survivor 50.
This episode was titled Epic Party, and I absolutely did not get who said that.
Yep, me neither.
I just fell right into it and got absorbed in watching and
Sounds
forgot
like
to pay
Jeff
attention.
To me or something,
Yeah.
you know. Well, we'll rewatch when we get some time and
Yeah. Okay. We're kicking it off with the intro marooning, and they kind of jarringly hit us with a flashback, rewind all the way back to the beginning.
To the very beginning.
Highlight several different...
May 31st of 2000.
Several different castaways along the way. I saw Keith Nail on a tuk-tuk speeding by at one point.
Yep.
All right, it's all season 50 in the hands of the fans. And they flash on to Jenna on the boat as they're coming in.
Would you call that a barge, kind of?
No, it's not
It's not really a barge, but...
No.
Because a barge is pulled, right? It's just a big flat, or does the barge do the pulling? I don't know. You can tell I don't do that kind of thing. But
it's more
anyway,
ferry-like than barge-like, I think.
Yeah, but it was just kind of different.
It looked almost like one of those military ones where they're doing the beach landings. Had the big ramp for them to come down when they got to the beach.
Wouldn't know too much about that either, but okay. That probably sounds better. But
Stephenie declares that she is back, and maybe this time she's great.
Okay, the thing that tickled me right off the bat was Ozzy and his...
It was pitiful.
Woo.
It was a pitiful woo when Probst is trying to fire everybody up.
He's like, woo. I thought, are you calling for woo? Woo's not there, Ozzy.
Mike White tells us that it's like a high school reunion with all these returning players. A high school reunion meets a massacre, though.
Oh, okay. 751 people have played.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yep. Probst lets them know there's big expectations. And he declares that they represent a complete history of the game.
Okay.
And all the eras. But we know that's not true.
Well, what did you think about him telling them that because they've turned the show over to the fans and everything is so uncertain and up in the air, it should make it very freeing for them to play.
He always tries to work that angle in where he's trying to encourage them to play uninhibited. Translation, make me some great TV moments. Well, I don't want you to play reserved.
He spelled that even better. He spelled it out even better when he said, we want everything. We want your blood, your sweat, and your tears.
Jonathan loved that. You got it, Mr. Jeff. It really fired Jonathan up. Charlie almost looked scared. I don't know if that was fierce eyes he was giving or scared eyes.
Maybe he was just trying to stay under the radar.
Yeah.
As much as possible. Now, I thought, I really liked Mike White's response of that I just have a fear of missing out. So
yeah, it's all about FOMO for him.
Yep.
When Probst was asking several of them why they came back, that was his insightful
I thought, well, that totally
commentary.
makes sense to me too.
He wanted a front row seat.
Yeah.
He didn't want to miss out. Jenna said, who would say no to this?
And I even thought it was cute that Rick said, I have no interest in idols. None whatsoever.
Charlie said he's probably standing on one. That was good. Yeah, I enjoyed that. And for Cirie, this is Survivor is her home. This is where she wants to be.
She grew up on Survivor. It's given her a lot.
A lot of courage, she said.
Yeah. From the lady who, was afraid of leaves and didn't want to get off the sofa. And she's certainly come a long way from that.
Colby's about reflection and his legacy.
Well, and he's right. There is more reflection in your 50s. Mm-hmm. Though I think I started in my 30s, But okay, he's Colby. He can start whenever he wants.
Probst hit Coach up. He wanted some coachism, so Coach hit him with the regret, the strongest emotion, he declares, and gets him fired up, tells him, let's go slay some dragons. And everybody cheers, and except someone should have been, wait a minute, most of us are those dragons that are going to get slayed. There's only one of us coming out of this.
That's right.
Mm-hmm. And then they find out their tribes, which Probst declares are orange, teal, and purple. And Joanne's all through the episode. That's pink.
Pink.
That's pink. That's hot pink.
Hot pink.
Instead of purple.
It's absolutely
100%
hot pink.
And
I know. I love it. It's one of my... Of course, purple's my favorite color, too. Hot pink.
We get an update on the fans voting. Probst tricks them a little bit, makes them think they're going to get rice at first, but no, they're going to have to earn it, and they're going to have to earn supplies. And
it is Survivors, though.
Kick it off with the marooning challenge. What did you think of that? There's a lot of activity, huh?
Yeah. Well, everything was just so fast, seemed like. And I know it was 3 hours, but it seemed like it went really fast.
Yeah, for us, we were enjoying it.
Yeah. I know during the immunity challenge, I just quit taking notes. And then after it was over, I went, oh, I wrote nothing. I didn't jot anything down. But I caught up during the commercial.
So they got to get a key, they got to release paddles, they got to unload rope out of a boat, and then they got to paddle out and get the torch, which is locked up in a box. And then they actually pull themselves out with rope in that boat, and then they paddle back, and then they got to get the torch free, and then they've got to light it to win.
I thought they all did pretty good.
Yeah, it starts off with Stephenie, Kamilla, and Savannah doing the dig. Stephenie did fantastic, huh?
Well,
she was a powerhouse through there.
I would expect no less from Stephenie. And especially since I saw her on Facebook and watched her doing her routine. Mm-hmm. Holy moly. So,
Yeah, Vatu did really well in that. Stephenie got him going with a great start there. And then once Stephenie got her part done, Aubry came out to unlock the paddles. That was kind of a puzzle there with sliding rails in it that they had to work through. Aubry was struggling with that a little bit. I was
surprised when Christian walked over and just went boom, 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 boom.
He had a plan. He was taking that time to study it, and he was trying to optimize how to solve it.
He was already
that was great.
Focused on his portion and what he was going to do, and
it helped him catch up. Definitely made up some time for sure. And Kamilla finally got dug under there. She set him back time-wise a little bit.
She got through at least. And Joe and Ozzy worked well together. John and Coach did okay, though. I think Coach... It looked like...
That was classic Coach. He was shallow paddling on the way back.
He was shallow paddling.
He was not contributing.
And he was...
in the front doing nothing.
He was handling the rope as Jonathan pulled it, but it looked like he was getting behind and the rope was catching,
Right.
He couldn't just move it out of the way fast enough, and because Jonathan just had it really going.
Ripping through there.
Yeah. So, but anyway, at least he was there and he did help with it. But I have to give the credit to Jonathan on that one. But Vatu wins in the end.
Yep. Q went over, unlocked the torch, and they all ran over and lit it. Got fire.
Yep. And Flip.
Yep. And then we find out that for the earn your supplies part, they've got to choose one person to compete.
Yep.
Tiffany volunteered Coach. That was good.
Yeah. Why do you think?
What?
Why did she volunteer him?
I don't know.
I mean, Dee, well, we'll talk about it when we get there. I know you don't like for me to jump ahead, but that just reminded me of how Dee was treating him later on as well, too. But anyway, we'll wait till we get there. So they chose Coach Ozzy and Q.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, oh, well, if that's physical, Q's just going to blow them out of the water.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if it's some kind of speed, physicality thing, I was concerned, yeah.
Well, they get to go fight again for some supplies.
Rizo's pretty stoked. He's playing with people that he's idolized because he's a huge fan, and he's also here, he tells us, ready to play Welcome to the Bloodbath. Now, there's your title right there. Should have been, I mean. Not that it actually was.
That would have been your choice for the title.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, that's what Jeff asked for. He wanted some blood. There it is. Okay, over to Vatu.
Get some tribe time.
Yep, Stephenie is comforted just to see Colby there and just to have somebody you can trust. And she really feels like she can trust him.
Yep.
And
Colby's moving mighty quick, trying to get the camp organized.
Yes, and he's already pinpointed Rizo as
annoying.
A very annoying person, and that he continues dodging work.
Yes, no work
but
effort.
Rizo explains
no liability.
to Colby how in the new age we don't do that.
Mm-hmm.
If you need somebody to do something, you have to ask them. We don't work like that.
Bouncing over to the Kalo tribe, Dee tells us that it feels good to be here.
Yep.
And she's just fine. And when it comes to choosing to set up camp, she tells him she's okay being in the dirt. The dirt's not so bad.
Who said that?
Dee.
Oh.
And then she also told us from the confessional point of view that she's the most dominant winner of the new era.
Okay.
Well, I think there's some people who would dispute that. Yeah, certainly in the running.
I kind of thought Kyle and Kamilla did a brilliant job myself. So, okay.
But she's pretty happy with her tribe. Got a lot of strength.
And Dee is going to be even more cutthroat for 50.
Mm-hmm. Charlie tells us since they got Jonathan, it's like they've got a tribe of 9, or maybe 10 or 11. And surprise, Mike White's got abs.
I know.
He's ripped. He's thin and he's ripped.
I had seen a clip of Jeff telling that to, I think, Mark and Kelly. And I was like, really? He's like, no, seriously.
Charlie.
Seriously, wait till he takes his shirt off. You're not going to believe it.
It certainly blew Charlie away. Yeah.
Well, obviously, everybody had a reaction to that, but good on him.
Mm-hmm. Mike tells us that he is here to lower his profile, but he also doesn't want anyone getting on Daddy's nerves. And he talks a little bit about how much his experience with Survivor has helped him in turn with doing all the work he has to do for White Lotus. When he felt like he was becoming overwhelmed, he just thought back to his Survivor experience, and he's like, no, I got this. I can do it.
If I can do that, I can do this. I can hang in there. I can hang on. I can take this just a little longer.
His advice is if you get a crazy opportunity, jump on it. Yep.
I really liked that, he did the whole thing with Charlie about, can you be my strategist?
Mm-hmm.
And I liked him saying that he really learned a lot the last time that he played, and it was things he had no clue he needed to learn.
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of people have described Survivor in that way, their journey.
Yeah.
Okay, over to Cila, or however we're pronouncing that.
Cila. Yep.
Okay, Cirie says, well, she's a nurse and Joe's a fireman, so all right.
Good to go.
Good to go.
There should be an alliance there. And we get Joe surveying everyone and giving his happy, shiny people version of his tribe.
And he thought Jenna was awesome because she ate rat?
Yeah.
Okay, but that was...
he was finding something good to say about everyone. And Emily wants the tea on season 49, so she immediately put Savannah on the spot. Savannah asks him to guess, and nobody says anything. I don't know if that was editing You can always make those kind of moments awkward with editing tricks, or if they really did just stand there blankly and not respond at all, and then she blurted out, "I won. Yeah, I'm the winner of 49."
Well, I think they just wanted to be quiet and see what she would say, you know. Mm-hmm. She knew she was an easy vote.
Jenna wasted no time. She tells us this is death row. This is going to get bloody fast. We see her talking to Savannah, and she's got her target set on Cirie.
Yeah.
Cirie's got such a great story. We need to get rid of her.
Okay, so she said she is here to win. She is not here to play old school.
Pivots from Savannah right over to seeing her talking to Joe and Christian. Hey, we got to take out Cirie.
Me, you, Savannah, and Joe. Done. Let's do it. Let's vote out Cirie. Mm-hmm. I thought, girl, you are moving so fast.
There was really no need to do that.
No, and that was not a good sign in my book. Mm-hmm. I thought, you playing too hard, too fast.
Okay, we're going to jump over to that day one challenge for supplies now. Coach is lamenting his situation here. He's got to face off against, he says, 2 younger men, but Ozzy's not that much younger than him, is he?
Oh, Ozzy's still in his 40s and Coach is in his 50s.
Oh,
so
okay.
He's probably got 10 years on him.
Huh. I was thinking Ozzy was older than that. Okay. Ozzy offered his hand. He wanted to squash the beef back from South Pacific, where Ozzy had raked him over the coals at Tribal Council. So they do a quick little recap of that and busting Coach's chops there.
Well,
but Ozzy keeps telling us he wants to play a different game now.
Yeah, and I felt like Coach was really, hey, my fault too, blah, blah, blah. Mm-hmm. But I'm not sure. I think that was the last we're going to see of that.
Yeah, probably. Okay, so they're going to have to climb up high and get some of the supplies they need for this challenge. Then they got to dig in the sand and get them. Then they got to swim out and get the third set of them. And then they got to build the classic, they got bamboo slats that they have to tie together to make a long stick.
I hate those things.
To retrieve a key. Why do you hate it?
I always hated them because they're so difficult. They're just always so flimsy, and no matter how good somebody does with them, they're just horrible.
Okay. Yep, long history and challenges.
What did I say? Who got to the top first? You were like, Q's gonna smoke them, and I'm like, Ozzy got to the top of that pole first.
Oh yeah, he just blew through that part of it, and he tells us he was feeling pretty good. He's got this. Except after he got the stick, his stick tied together and tried to use it, he had a stark realization. This is not going to be easy.
No, you could tell it wasn't. And I thought, did he have all of what he had to work with? There was nothing else to add?
Looked like it.
Wow, because I would have added another one if I could have. Ugh.
Yep.
Though he eventually persevered.
So he was first to get started, and then Coach and Q finally get there, and Coach has another plan. Coach's plan is, I'll let Ozzy do the work, and I will steal the key. Yeah,
he'll save his energy for stealing it from me. But Ozzy, again, you're not playing a certain type of game. And, it's cutthroat. You can't expect them to just be honorable and let you have it because you got it. But
cue the fail montage as they struggle it's mostly Ozzy struggling for, 45 minutes, I think they said. And then Ozzy finally gets it and starts dragging it back, and sure enough, Coach grabs it and steals it. And
yet he basks in the glory of it, saying, "You'll leave as a hero." That it just didn't come off as hero to me.
Ozzy told us he had hoped that Coach would be honorable, the honorable man that he always professes that he is.
Nah.
Now, what are your thoughts on this? Was that dishonorable for him to steal it like that?
Not in the game of Survivor, no. Not really.
He never said that he wouldn't steal it, no, so he didn't go back on his word.
That's true. Mm-hmm. But he knows how to maneuver those little things that... Now, Ozzy would consider it not honorable.
And did.
And did, yes. Yeah. But, and Ozzy would have honored it had one of the others gotten it. He wouldn't have tried to steal it. If they had gotten it, he would go, okay, they got it, fair, square. That's it.
So we got
it's theirs, but that's not it.
Honorable Ozzy and cutthroat coach is where we end up here, huh?
Yes, and like I said, it's the game. I can't fault Coach for doing it. It was fair game until Ozzy had it in his hands, and he didn't.
So there's a twist.
But I didn't like it.
Once Coach leaves in his boat, Ozzy and Q find out that they are on Exile Island. My heart sank a little bit when I read those words or heard those words.
I was like, what? No. They're not coming back, right? This is just a nod to some of the seasons. They're calling it Exile Island. But it's just a quick passing thing.
We know how desperate SEG and CBS are to keep all these known faces on the screen.
Well, given the season, I'm hoping it's just a nod, and they're not going to send people over there all the time.
Right, that we won't end up with that. So maybe it's a good sign the way this played out, because they got to rejoin their tribe. They didn't have to compete to rejoin the following morning. They had to stay out there that night.
Well, and that could have destroyed some people's games. I actually I think it hurt Ozzy some. I don't think it hurt Q as much.
No, but it wasn't because of anything Q did.
No, it wasn't. It was because they'd already decided, we want Q. He's
well, it was because Kyle had a plan.
Yes, Kyle and
Kyle made Q be okay, I think. Yeah. That's how that went. Okay, Coach returns victorious to Kalo. Jonathan spots Coach with gifts in hand, and they give a cheer. Coach, 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 Coach. Coach loved that.
Well, you could tell he did. He ate it up. Mm-hmm. But I don't, I guess I'm still a little bit torn because of the way he got it, and he wasn't honest about it. Mm-hmm. Why didn't he tell him how he got it? It's a game. It's okay. So if it's okay in your mind, Coach, why didn't you tell him about it? Hey, and I got it from Ozzy, right? I got it.
So now he is dishonorable is what you're saying.
No.
Dishonest.
No. I'm saying he didn't tell him. Why didn't he? If he thought he was the true hero, and why didn't he tell him the whole truth?
Well, he's riding quite a high. He shares his toe ring with Charlie and gets compliments on his painted big toe toenails from Dee.
Yep, well, Dee said that's why she liked him, is he had one painted toenail.
Cut to Chrissy. She's like right in that same mode with Jenna, huh? She tells us she loves strategy, and we see her talking to Coach, and she says she's looking for any reason to get rid of someone, and she's chosen Dee.
Yep. Get Dee out. She's a winner.
So we saw Chrissy talking. Coach was just sitting there, and then, so she finally checks in with him. And he said, I'm processing, and I'm okay with all of it, sure.
I think he'd already tuned her out.
Yeah.
She didn't come across.
Well, he wasn't ready to go that fast. Yeah.
Yeah. And
but Chrissy tells us she plans to be diabolical.
Well, if she gets the chance, because the way I'm looking at it right now is Chrissy and Coach are seemingly the least fit. Well, Kamilla, I guess you could throw Kamilla in the least fit. But she's got so much to give in the puzzles. I think they're going to let that slide.
Oh, yeah.
Because she can save them in the end.
You betcha.
So, I think that's her advantage there, even though they're a little frightened of her. But I don't know. Chrissy didn't come across that well to me.
Nope. She's not getting a good at it either. They even did her dirty on one point a little later. Okay, bouncing back over to Cila. We see Jenna is looking for idols. She's aggressively hunting. And Devins and Christian are buddying up and talking, but they're also looking. Mm-hmm. Devins gets excited for a second, thinks he spots a scroll, but it didn't turn out to be one.
And they're laughing because they don't know if there even are any.
Right.
At this point. But they at least confirmed they want to work with each other.
Well, and Devins says for sure. He's even ready to send Christian a note. Do you want to play the game with me? Check yes or no.
But I would Christian's not write anything down there.
I love this alliance here. I love that Christian and Devins are are pairing up and wanting to work together.
Wants
Christian.
Rick to be his captain, Kirk to his Spock.
Yeah. Says he loves him some Rick Devens.
Well, cool.
And Rick's got another idea for someone to add. He says, I think Emily wants to work with us. So we see him talking to Emily, and sure enough, and she's just excited that she's
included.
Yeah. She said, people genuinely want to work with me. This is so different from season 45.
Yeah.
And we see her completing the circle, going back and talking to Christian and saying, hey, I trust you implicitly. I'm not sure why, but I do.
Good
That's
deal.
because Christian is charming.
Okay. Yeah, that's not going the way I had it in my head. I was like, ooh, Joe's going to know that, Cirie's loyal and Ozzy's loyal and they're going to pull in Christian and yeah, none of that happened.
At least they didn't show it to us if it did.
Not yet.
Yep.
Not yet.
Okay, we're going to bounce over to Vatu. All this still on day one. We see Colby and Kyle starting to work together, and they agree to run this thing and build an alliance. And Colby's got an idea. He's got Stephenie, and they're thinking they can bring Genevieve in. They need one more for a fifth. But that seemed to come together pretty quickly and easily, huh?
Well, yeah. I mean, bam, Kyle's like, she's his Kamilla.
Yeah. Oh, with Genevieve?
Yeah. He sees her as his, that she can be.
Kyle seemed to be the hub, too, because we see him talking to Colby, then we see him talking to Stephenie, and then talking to Genevieve. Yep.
And who was it that said, Genevieve said, well, Kyle can be very charismatic. Mm-hmm. And so he's working his magic.
Yeah.
And Colby tells Genevieve that he cannot hear very well out of his left ear. And so if you need to whisper to me,
can't
do
see
it in
so
my
good.
right ear. And I can't see so good either. So let me stand further back. You hold it. I'll stand back.
Right.
Which we can relate to. Uh-huh. You used to laugh at me when I did it, but now you do it too.
And you love that.
I do. Mm-hmm. I do, because I said, your time will come, and it has.
So there's a solid 4. Yep.
Yep.
And then we see a really awkward exchange between Aubry and Genevieve.
Oh, yeah,
awkward.
Not.
It seemed to be Aubry making it awkward, didn't it?
Yes, it did to me.
Yeah.
They were feeling each other out, but I thought Aubry took it. Why not just leave it open?
She started good. We could be a dangerous duo. That sounded good. But she was just sort of dead set on trying to get Genevieve to declare what kind of game she wanted to play. And then saying that made me not trust you.
Yeah, then Aubry went straight to, I need to cut her throat before she cuts mine.
Yeah, she seemed to really fumble that badly. That's not the Aubry I wanted to see.
I thought, well, Aubry, honey, Genevieve is kind of in with quite a few people.
Yeah, there's no way for her to know that yet necessarily.
There isn't, and
which is why you should focus on making all these connections, like Kyle said. That was his priority.
Exactly.
Okay, we bounce back over to Exile Island, and Q's struggling there at night, and there's stuff crawling over him, and then Ozzy says, yeah, there was stuff crawling over me too.
Ozzy's like, eat it. It's protein.
Ozzy knows that he's not happy because he feels like he's missing out on alliances and getting to set all that up.
Well, they are, and that is a legitimate concern.
Now, interesting twist. They find out that there's a bargain to be made, that they have to make a decision here, that you can get supplies, but it's going to cost you. So one person can get supplies, and then another person can end up with an extra vote. But to get the supplies, you have to lose a vote.
Your vote. And Ozzy, or Oscar.
Oh, that he tells us that he's playing as Oscar this time, right?
Oscar this time. But he'll always be Oscar.
Oscar wants the vote.
Yep, he wants the vote.
He's okay not being the provider of supplies.
I do not have to be the provider, but I do need some power in this game, and I need an extra vote. Mm-hmm. So, and Q eventually agrees with him.
They both got what they wanted the way it worked out, right? So Yeah, they work that out.
And Q gets to be the hero, bringing back the pot
Vatu.
and the machete, and he won. And he's like, well, yeah, I didn't lose my boat. I sold it.
Yeah, but he didn't tell them that.
No.
So he made up something about a 50 coconut challenge, and that's how he got the supplies.
So that was wise.
But he does share it right away with Kyle.
Yep.
Kyle's make sure that Q knows that he has his back, that he's covered. He's already got him plugged into
on board.
He makes the fifth in the majority alliance for their tribe. We're good, he tells him. And then he shares with Kyle that he has lost his vote, which in turn builds trust with Kyle. So that works out. But they're a 5-person alliance with only 4 votes.
Yep.
This is going to become more important.
Not even that now, but okay. All right, back over to Cila, and Ozzy returns empty-handed.
But Christian has a plan. He wants to try the classic eyeglass magnifier. Let's make fire that way. So we see
there were
Ozzy,
plenty of glasses around.
From
the older folk.
A lot to choose from. Yeah, Christian realized his weren't the right kind, but it turned out somebody did have the right kind.
It's Jenna's, huh?
Yeah, I believe that's who it was.
So they used the glasses together and made it work. And Ozzy helped, so...
That really got Christian. Did you see that? Did you notice it? It choked him up a little bit because it made him think about his son getting to see this at some point later. And it hit him in the feels.
Wow, he just set an example. He was proud of himself, but then he was like, oh, my boy's going to see this one day.
It'll be a long time.
So that could really affect his game so much more than
well, it already is, right? You can see
at this point.
Yeah.
I think it will affect a lot more. And especially since, he's in that new dad. Oh my goodness, and I'm setting examples for the rest of his life.
What did you think about the exchange that we see next there between Cirie and Devens? See them talking about Cirie's talking about, working with Christian and whatnot, and Devin says, well, Jenna's got your name in her mouth.
Yeah. Well, at least he told her.
Yeah.
That, hey, your name's already be thrown around. And then we see what I thought would happen was Ozzy and Cirie aligning, and he shares with her that he has an extra vote.
Yep. Pledges his allegiance to her and tells us that Cirie is his number 1. You were hoping that would happen.
Yes, I expected it to. But I did not expect Savannah, Joe, Jenna, and Emily to be talking so much. And, all those people. Okay, back over to Vatu.
Time for a fashion show with MC Rizo.
And Rizo is winning Colby over. I mean, Colby went right from here.
Lazy bum. Yeah.
And he's going, well, he really is kind of funny and he's entertaining.
Couple days, and he realizes that he's playing the same age as Colby did his first time.
Yep. Yeah, and how mature do you think you were at 25? That's what I used to tell my brother.
So they have a good little heart-to-heart there and good discussion.
I think he really got him.
Yeah.
When he's like, Rizzo cried and he's like, well, you're like my dad out here, And
Yep.
I'm playing with all these icons, but I still think Rizzo could trip himself up big time because he wants so badly to be the best.
Yes.
Or at least one of the very best players ever.
Well, you got to aim high if you want to.
Yeah, but
head up that direction. Yeah.
You can aim that way, but he really seems to have his, heart set on it. But who knows? We'll see.
Back to Kalo on day 3. So they skipped day 2 pretty much altogether, huh? Or was that just when the boat came back, I guess?
No, I think that was day 2. There was stuff going on day 2.
Yeah, Kalo's, we're at day 3 when you see Coach and Mike and Jonathan out on the beach. They're stretching.
Well, and Jonathan's telling us he's going to play a more fluid game this time. And he's going to be more strategic. He's not just going to be the strong ox and let that be it. He's going to have to do a lot more in order to win this game.
And he starts pitching Mike and saying that he maybe wants to target D. But he also tells us in his confessional that he still wants to play an old school game. And we see Coach and Jonathan building an alliance.
Didn't Coach tell him he would not lie to me?
Never betray you, he said. Yes.
That means that's probably going to happen. The fact that they showed it makes me think, watch out, Jonathan.
You see Jonathan talking to Chrissy and saying that he's interested in targeting D, which makes Chrissy happy.
And then we see the girls kick in.
Mm-hmm.
Tiffany likes D and Kamilla.
Yes.
A lot. But they don't like Chrissy.
So they've got a solid 3 there, and they're more than happy to cut Chrissy.
Yeah.
And that's where I was saying the editors did Chrissy dirty, because while Kamilla, D, and Tiffany are talking about having their solid 3 alliance and targeting her, they cut to Chrissy, and it's like a dorky moment where she's cleaning her teeth with a little tree branch or something. It was not a very flattering visual for Chrissy at all.
Okay. Well, quit it with the edit, y'all.
Community challenge and reward coming up here on day 3. Everybody comes in all smiles, looking forward to it.
Oh, I forgot I wanted to mention how Kamilla had said, I'm tired of all this honor and trust stuff. Mm-hmm. She wants to play, and she don't want to have to worry about all the honor and the trust.
All that garbage.
And I thought, well,
I don't think you worried about it too much your first round, did you? You just had to be around it. That's what it was.
She had to be a lot more cautious and just the whole thing. But she doesn't. I don't think she'll have to with Tiffany or D.
Yeah, so. She said, which I think what she's really talking about is she wants the controlling alliance to not be playing that game. Whereas
yes, they want to have some fun, but they also want to cut throats.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, no, we can do this, no problem.
Okay, immunity challenge and reward. They're going to have to go up and come down one of those big
ramps.
But made out of the cargo nets. Yeah. And then the classic crawl through the mud, because Jeff loves
crawl
that.
Through the mud.
Because that symbolizes birth into the game, he has to tell us every time. Yeah. And then they got to roll a big cage that's got bags of coconuts and loose coconuts in it. And then they've got to empty the coconuts out, and then somebody's got to throw the coconuts over into another net.
So they can drop the box.
Yeah. We'll get them the monkey's fist.
Yeah, monkey's fist. So that poor Cirie could try to
right, so they have to throw the rope with the monkey's fist on the end of it to land it inside a lever, and then pull the lever to drop a ramp so that they can go up and solve a 50-piece puzzle.
How frustrating knowing that she can do that. She's done it before.
Mm-hmm.
And she knows she can do it, and it's just not happening. I hate that when you know you can do something, and you've done it many times, but in that moment, it just won't happen.
First 2 tribes to finish are immune, and they win. First tribe to finish wins a big fishing kit. The second tribe to finish wins a smaller kit.
Any fishing kit out there is an advantage.
Yeah. So the challenge goes pretty quick. And Kalo's zooming through. Coach did really great with the monkey fist, landed it early and pulled his way through. And then Cirie begins her epic struggle. I don't know why she really would put herself in that situation.
Obviously nobody else could take over if you had that position.
If you committed to it, you were locked in, yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
And I thought, that's brutal. But that is what it is. And she didn't get it until both of the other 2 tribes were already
working on the puzzle. Yeah, Kalo got there early and started, and then Aubry got her monkey fist really quickly, and Probst is even yelling at Cirie.
I know
to find it, to get it done.
I saw some clip the other day where during a challenge, Jeff said something about Parvati. She was behind, and she said something to him.
Vatu made pretty quick work of getting up that ramp once Aubry got it down. And then we end up in a medical situation. Kyle ends up jamming his ankle really bad.
Oh, yeah.
He thought he was just going to bounce back, but then he realized, oh, no, my ankle's not working right. There's a sprain.
Well, yeah. If he ruptured it, and that was, that's usually surgery.
Yeah. I was hoping it wasn't really bad from that perspective. And,
yeah. when I saw him walking around a little after they had it wrapped and all back at camp, I was hopeful. But as soon as I saw the boat with Jeff on it, it's like, oh no, that's never a good thing.
So Kyle tells him, hey, we'll figure it out. Let's just, let's keep going.
Well, good for him.
Yeah, and Q comes down to help him get up, and they find a way to get Kyle up there, and then Q gets back up so they can get working on their puzzle. And Cirie's still struggling, even
Poor
at that
Cirie.
point.
I felt so bad for her.
And Kamilla and Chrissy are just tearing it up. Kamilla seemed to be directing things there, but they really ripped through the puzzle, and Kalo ends up winning. And then Emily and Christian finish theirs. No, Emily and Christian do get started on it once Cirie finally finishes, and then Angelina and Genevieve win, finishing the puzzle for Vatu. Cila
they were
is
just too far ahead.
headed to tribal council. Cirie tells us in a confessional Savannah tells us in a confessional that Cirie blew that challenge today. It's a death sentence for Cirie.
Yep.
You were not happy.
Cirie says, I'm a people pleaser. And she was really struggling to keep it together. I could tell how much that really hit her.
Well, she's been here before where she busted a challenge for her tribe.
Nobody likes to be that person.
No.
But she did say, my good days outweigh the bad. Mm-hmm. So
Christian gives a little pep talk and then heads everybody down to wash off the mud.
Yep. Yes, we all know Cirie lost the challenge for you.
Ozzy was, he didn't focus on that. He didn't try to beat her up or anything. Ozzy tells her, you got a lot of other skills.
Yeah.
Just not the physical ones. Yeah.
Well, but she'd be gone if it weren't for Ozzy and Christian.
Fighting so hard. Yeah.
Yes. I believe it 100%.
We see Jenna talking to Devins and Savannah and saying, Cirie botched that challenge.
And I thought, Joe. All his honesty and integrity, and he doesn't realize how cutthroat and hard Jenna's playing. He doesn't see it at all.
That was an interesting exchange between Jenna and Ozzy, too. Jenna didn't waste any words. She said, you'll protect her. Look, she can't swim. She's going to botch up another challenge for us. And we see Ozzy talking to Christian and Joe and Emily about how Jenna's playing too hard, too fast, trying to switch it around to her. It didn't seem like he was really making the headway, though.
Was it Emily that said, well, let's just vote out Ozzy then?
That was an interesting twist, yeah.
It's like, hello, Emily. He's much stronger than you are in the challenges. And hello, Jonathan on the other tribe.
Devins even thought Joe might vote out Ozzy. That all seemed like a bad read.
Yeah, and an overreaction.
Emily shares where she was coming from. Emily wants to keep Jenna and Cirie because they provide a distraction.
Protection for her. Because then nobody's paying attention to me. If they're fighting and they both want to be then I like that a lot.
I didn't understand what Christian meant when he was talking to the group there with Savannah and Joe and Devins, and he said, anyone but Jenna is a dirty vote. I wasn't really tracking that. Christian? This was before when he was talking about driving for consensus, but it was right around that same time.
Maybe he thinks Jenna's the one playing a cutthroat game and the others aren't.
Yeah.
Or, I don't know.
Devins tells us, well, it's either Jenna, Cirie, or Ozzy. It's going to be exciting. And they have him do one of his newsroom newscaster voices there.
Yep.
Okay, on to tribal council there on night 3. And we were looking at the time. We're going, this is not tracking right time-wise for how early we're getting there. There's going to be like a whole hour left.
You were like, no, there's going to be another vote off. There's going to be another vote off. Like, no, there's
What did you think of tribal council? The giant phoenixes and the...
That was very different.
The temples, the great big temples.
You could tell the way they were looking around at everything, that they were impressed.
Yeah.
So...
Probst hits Jenna with the first question, and he's asking her to look back to her first tribal council and how it's different. And she talks about how they had to bang a gong on the way in and how small the set was compared to this one.
Yeah, and their torches were tiny.
Yeah.
Compared to the ones they have now. So,
She said, you definitely have longer discussions now.
Yeah, and Joe went right into okay, I brought in a lot of baggage from the last season. It clouds my vision.
Yeah, so. Well, he's sure in where he is.
Yeah.
Kyle and Kamilla gave me a wedgie. They humiliated me on national TV.
Well, that's partially on you, dear.
I'm just looking for... And it's classic Joe because he's not in sync with the game. He said, I'm looking for a clean slate and a fair shot. Christian's like, nah, there's too much history.
Everything won't be a clean
not going to work. Yeah.
It's never going to work. And I agree. So, and...
Ozzy shares that he's thought back on his past relationships in the game, and he's looking to be more mature and make more social connections this time around.
Yeah, but that it does make tribal council complex, and but they're going to grow from it.
Yeah, example there. Cirie says that she wants to be transparent, and she knows that she voted Ozzy out last time they played together.
Yep.
Hoping that they can talk and that
she's truthful.
Respect, that she's truthful about all that stuff.
Come on, Joe, we can play an honest game here. Come on.
Devin tells us that he's studying it all, but this one's full of unknowns with the votes.
Yep, with the fans' choices, because they don't know what they are. And Cirie said, there's just no place to hide. But if I was going to try to hide, I'd have just stayed home.
Yeah.
So... you go, girl. But Savannah...
Well, she caught the question about how you value someone's ability to deliver in a challenge.
Well, and depends on the person.
She was very diplomatic. It's not easy.
Well,
it's not straightforward.
Trying to say what she thought they wanted to hear.
Sure.
But it didn't sound genuine to me.
Emily says strategic decisions are not possible.
And that there was no obvious, easy vote.
And Christian was pitching his whole deal. What he told us in his preseason interviews that he was focused on as being the narrator. So he says, this is about what story do we want to have moving forward? How are we going to ascend from here?
Well, he's planning to get back in the saddle and show them what their tribe's made of. Mm-hmm. And I hope they can.
Yeah.
I did not see them losing. You did.
Yes, I absolutely did. And what did I say was the cause of it, or the cause would be? I said they were the physically weakest women. They had the physically overall weakest women. They were going to have the hardest time. And that's exactly what ended up being the case.
That is true, though. Because at least I don't think of Chrissy. I know she was in the past, but I don't think she will compare to the at least Dee and Tiffany, because they're both pretty strong in challenges. Mm-hmm. And Kamilla's so good with the puzzles that, of course, Chrissy was too. So at one time. So she didn't get to show that this time. But I guess I'm a little bit confused about Aubry's gameplay. And we didn't see a whole lot of Angelina.
No, just a few moments.
She seemed to get along with everybody when she was.
She's really loud.
Shown, but yeah, no.
And
so thank you.
How do you describe that? Effusive? She's effusive.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just like lots coming out.
And I'm surprised they were embracing Genevieve as much as they were. But, for Colby, there was no question. It was Stephenie.
Yep.
He was going to work with her regardless.
Okay, let's bounce back to Tribal Council, and then we'll circle back to the Vatu tribe.
Yes, sir.
So it's time to vote, and we see Jenna saying, it's Cirie, you were wonderful, I'm so sorry, and Cirie saying, Jenna, you came for me when I wasn't targeting you, so now you get to go. No advantages or idols are played, and it's a unanimous vote.
I was still getting a little bit nervous.
Yeah, so Jenna is first out, and they all stood up for her. I think Ozzy was maybe going to go for a hug, but she didn't. She wasn't having that. But.
Well, and what did Jenna have to say? I hope they lose every challenge now.
Yeah, she wasn't petty at all. She didn't say that to them. She said that after
yeah, but she knows they'll watch it.
Yeah.
They'll see it.
Mm-hmm. Okay,
I mean,
so
I don't blame her for that.
Still an hour left in the episode at this point. So.
I know, and you're like,
how is this going to play out? Yep. Over to Vatu, day 4. Kyle's got his leg wrapped, and he tells us he is healing.
Yep, he's feeling better.
Genevieve and Stephenie are looking for idols, and Genevieve ends up finding one.
Yeah.
And
I think it was Stephenie that was pushing the idol thing, and telling her what to look for and this and that, and she just walked over there and bam, there it was.
Yep. Rizzo comes up, so they hide it, but then we see Genevieve talking to Kyle, and she reveals the Billie Eilish boomerang idol. What did you think about this twist? It was a little confusing at first, wasn't it?
Yeah, but,
So you have to send it to someone on another tribe. If they get voted out with it in their pocket, they don't play it, then it boomerangs back, it comes back to you. Interesting.
Yes.
So you have to think about who do you want to give it to who's possibly going to hold it, be unwilling to play it. So she's talking and strategizing with Stephenie, and they come up with a list, either Jonathan or Devon's, possibly Tiffany, and then they end up settling on Ozzy. So she decides to send it Ozzy's way.
I guess they just decided because they were putting other, famous people to do things or coming in or, someone's name, and she's a big name. So I guess they just decided, hey, let's throw that in, and how cool to get a note from Billie Eilish.
Yeah.
It's like, cool. But other
Do you think
than
Billie
that,
Eilish
that's
really
about
sent anything?
No.
Or she just agreed to participate?
Well, one or the other, same difference.
Yeah, I think Kierhofer probably wrote that.
Well, we don't know that.
Over to the Cila tribe, and we see Ozzy doing the Ozzy thing. That wasn't Oscar-like. He was old Ozzy providing food for him.
Yes, but they got to eat, and, he can't help it.
It wasn't enough to win Devon's over. He tells us you're still dispensable, Ozzy.
Yep. Well,
it's great to have that extra
Thank
food.
you for the fish.
Yeah.
But got nothing for you. It ain't going to buy you nothing.
And Ozzy tells us there's something in his bag, and he wants to go check out what that is. He gets a note that says, congratulations, someone wanted you to have this idol. There's 2 rules. You can only play it for yourself, and you can't give it away. And it's good till Final 5.
Yeah, that's the thing. This is on what, day 3?
Mm-hmm. Day 4.
You got something that's good to Final 5? Wow. Awesome.
It's definitely got Ozzy stoked. And we learned that he still has his
extra vote.
So he's got an advantage and an idol now.
So they knew before Tribal that they were voting unanimously.
Yes.
So that, of course they couldn't show us. But yeah, they knew. You don't go in and vote unanimously without everybody settling that up before Tribal.
Okay, over to Kalo there on day 4, and we see Coach modeling a robe, and then they hear a whistle, and there's a boat. So it's journey time again. So we see Mike White and then Savannah and Colby all end up going on the journey.
Mike wants to go.
He beat Charlie in rock, paper, scissors so he could go.
Well, and Colby's like, well, he didn't mind going to a competition. He didn't have the mental capacity for all that new age, gaming,
strategizing,
and stuff.
Yeah, much more happy to compete. That was interesting when the boats landed and he got them all together. He's like, hey, I need some extra information about what did you learn? What did Q say happened in that last one, the last challenge?
Now, what did Coach say happened?
Yeah.
Not Q.
Mm-hmm. So Mike White lays it all out for him.
Yes, and finds out, he wasn't 100% honest about that.
Yeah, and then they find out that only 2 people can play in today's challenge.
Wow.
And they draw rocks, and Mike White is out, so he promptly...
Bye-bye. Goes right back to camp.
Goes right back to the boat, yeah. So Savannah and Colby find that they have to stack tiles, and then basically... you either get to keep your vote or you're going to lose your vote. And whoever the tiles fall over on after that move, that's who loses their vote.
Well, that's like playing, what is it, Jenga?
Yeah, kind of like, well, Jenga's when you're taking it out.
Well, yeah, but it's still kind of like that.
This is building it up, yeah.
And
So Savannah's strategy, since she's short, is to make it wide.
Colby. No, it'll be fine. Go ahead.
And Colby's strategy is to make it higher, and then he ends up tipping it, so he loses his vote.
He's trying to make it higher to make it harder for this little short girl, and I'm just going, yeah, you go ahead, you make it, you go ahead, do that, yeah.
She complimented him and then tells us in the confessional, I kicked his butt. Well, you didn't actually do anything.
No,
that was more him.
He kicked his own butt. But.
Yeah. And then we learn about another aspect of the fan vote. The fans chose dynamic advantages, and she just gained one. She got a secret block a vote advantage, so she can block somebody's vote.
Yeah.
Back at the Kalo camp, we see when Mike White gets back early, he recounts what Colby had shared, and Coach did not take it well. He was pretty unhappy about getting called out.
Yeah, I think that was him trying to manage his anger before he let it
Ozzy
come out
threw
of
me
show.
under the bus, he says. Yeah. This feels like a flashback to South Pacific.
Yeah, so I don't think that's over.
We get an MLK quote from Coach, and then cut to him doing Coach Chi on the beach.
Yeah, that's why.
He said that wasn't very flattering for him. That's roughly how you described it, huh?
Well, and it's something that he used to do all the time, is run out there. But I was thinking, I think he needs to work something off right now. And so he,
Yeah, he's in a different physical state than he was than when he used to go out and do that for the camera before.
True too, but no six pack for Coach.
Okay, let's cut over to Vatu. Colby shares with him what happened about winning or losing the vote, and he says, I lost my vote. And then it dawns on Q. We've got a 5-person alliance and only 3 votes. This is not a good situation that we're in.
3 votes.
Now Colby and Q both do not have a vote.
Oh, I forgot Colby did.
Well, Colby just lost his. You mean you forgot Q didn't?
No, I knew Q didn't. I forgot.
Colby losing his just happened. Okay, back over to the Cila trial.
What's your point?
And Savannah's recounting her version of things to her tribe, and she says, I got to keep my vote because I beat Colby and Colby lost his. And then she tells us, I'm not sure they believed me. Cut to Devon's and Cirie and Ozzy and Christian talking. Yeah, Devon said, oh no, she got an advantage. Absolutely, she got an advantage. So she was right. She got busted.
I don't think she knew it, though.
Back to the Vatu camp, and we see Q and, who is it? Q and Genevieve, and is it Angelina? They're talking about playing blackjack. And then we see the bad news. Here comes Probst in on the boat, and Dr. Joe's with him. And Stephenie, when she sees him, she immediately says, oh, this is not good. And Probst has Dr. Joe recap, and he tells us that pain Kyle's experiencing behind his ankle could be a problem with his Achilles tendon.
And as he's doing the ultrasound, and if there's black spots like these.
Cut to showing a dark spot on the phone screen. Yeah.
It's like, oh.
And then he does another test where he squeezes his calf to see if his toes move, and it doesn't on the hurt foot. So he says we're likely dealing with some severe damage to the tendon. It's 3 months of rehab that's required to deal with this. And Probst tells us that they
if you don't have to have surgery even.
Right, that they have a duty of care here, and they don't want to risk extreme damage.
They did all that just to break the news. We're going to have to pull you.
Yep, Kyle is out. Yeah.
Yeah, it is a little heartbreaking, even though he was a winner, and you can make that a newlywed, go home and be with your wife and all that. But I don't like to see anyone leave on a medical. Yeah. It's just sad.
Yep, it is.
Really. All prepared, and boy, they looked like they had the perfect
they could
tried for them, for their
they could work
alliance.
out how to get around this problem with the lost votes. Yeah. So that hits everyone pretty hard.
But anyway.
Probst reminds them that the stakes are definitely high out there. And Kyle did exactly what you said. He gave everything, and he ruptured his Achilles tendon, it sounds like.
Thanks, Jeff.
Kyle, I'm going to blame Jeff for sure. Kyle tells him that he hopes one of them wins. And Genevieve says losing Kyle was a real gut punch. Q tells us, now I got to start over.
Well, and Aubry was like, no, it's not good news. Anytime it takes that long, it's not good news.
What did you think of the premiere?
Enjoyed it very much.
It had a great pace for
so
us,
fast,
right?
Yeah.
Yep.
So, because I was like, 3 hours?
Yeah.
Goodness,
How is that going to go? So it was interesting they chose to take it over to the next day. I liked your thought process there. You said, I bet they're going to come right into the challenge. And
next week and do 2.
That's how we'll have a double elimination next week.
Eliminate someone, and then
we'll see.
Yeah, maybe
not. If they did a double next week, then we'd be down 4 going into the third episode. Yeah. Well, like you said, they've got to get rid of a lot. So
they do. So
we're expecting them to get rid of 11 or 12 before the merge.
Well, we'll see. We don't know what they're going to do. We don't know if they're going to have a humongous jury, and so, the returnees can play longer, at least be involved, feel a bigger, longer part of it. Maybe.
Yeah.
So we don't know what they can do.
I almost wish there was more. I do wish there was more. Like I wanted to see more tribe time. I don't feel like we just got glances into what the dynamics are.
I felt that way too.
In the
even
alliances.
with 3 hours, and I know there will be people like that was way too long, but I was like, wow, but show me more about it. I didn't get to see this one interact with that one as much.
Right.
Like I said, we hardly saw Angelina, Aubry, and we got to see Rizo, but not even as much of Stephenie as I would have liked. But I'd have liked seeing a little bit more dynamics in the Kalo tribe as well. So, because those 3 girls can't run it on their own.
Right. We don't see we weren't given a majority alliance there. And you don't need to. And when you're making editing choices, when the Cila tribe's the one that's in trouble. And they could certainly be in trouble again.
So
Cirie's still there, and it's a water challenge coming up from what they showed us. So those are typically
well, I don't agree with
her.
Jenna that Cirie can't swim. She can swim.
Yeah, she has trouble with balance.
She does have trouble with balance for sure.
And I think that's where we're headed with this next challenge too. So.
Well, she'll do the best she can, and But if they lose again because of Cirie, then
you got to cut her, right? Yeah.
You got to keep your tribe going.
Ready for next time on Survivor?
I suppose I am. Coach
is dressing down Ozzy there when they get to that water challenge.
Oh, yeah. He's been sitting on that.
Stewing.
He's been sitting on it, stewing on it, and ready to light into him.
Yes. And then we see Christian saying, you're not going to want to see this. And then where he's on the beach.
My wife's going to divorce me.
Yeah, and then in a confessional, he's saying, my wife's going to divorce. So you think that's because he's doing something risky, maybe?
Or he's letting them show something.
Yeah.
That would embarrass her or him? Or?
Yeah. And now they quickly show, it looks like Genevieve crying. Is that Kyle fallout or something else? Maybe something else goes bad.
I just thought that's part of her processing the Kyle leaving. Same thing when Q was saying something.
And at that water challenge, I think that's Ozzy diving while Probst is saying, wow. So probably Ozzy's, it looks like one of those where they got to collect rings.
Well, Ozzy's a fish in water. Come on.
Yeah.
And I noticed Chrissy was sitting out of the challenge.
That's of a land-based challenge because you see Colby dragging one of those big, heavy snakes.
Yeah, so they are going to have more than one challenge, looks like.
Yeah.
And
Jonathan is out in the ocean. We hear him calling over to Coach.
Are you all right?
Yeah.
And Coach is in the water making strange noises. He's like, you okay?
He's not talking. He's just making pain sounds. Yeah.
Well,
and then we see Christian.
Maybe it's just gas.
Christian talking to Cirie and somebody else, and he says, this could go sideways. We could get sniped.
Sniped? Let's see.
And then Q declares one of us should win it.
Cirie, Christian, Ozzy. Not enough. If Joe has Emily, Rick, and Savannah, or if those four have each other, the other three are still on the outs unless they can pull somebody else in. We know Savannah does want Cirie gone. Does not want her there. But Savannah, Cirie wanted you there. She wanted you as cover.
Yeah.
A shield. But so I don't know, who could they pull over? Could Christian pull? But the others made her feel wanted. And that's powerful. Mm-hmm. Especially for Emily. So I don't know.
Yep. I'm sure.
I guess I'm hoping that Christian could talk Rick into staying with him, and that they work with Ozzy and Cirie.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
That's we'll see.
Yeah. So we can't give a full JSFL update because that's a complicated scoring arrangement because Kyle went out on a medical. So if you're like me, in your safe votes, you had Kyle as being safe, you lost a point on that.
Yes, there were 18 people who had Jenna as first off.
Okay.
And most of those people will get 2 points for the first off. Mm-hmm. However, there were like 4 of you, I think, that had Kyle safe. So if you had Kyle safe, he was not safe till the end of the episode, after the episode ends, which is how we say it because of things like this that can happen. And they leave the game due to some other reason than being voted off. Mm-hmm. He was not voted off. So, and there were 12 people who had Kyle as the first off, and you will not receive any points for that because he was not voted off. And but you won't lose any safe points either because you didn't have him safe.
Okay.
So that's how it is right now. And I do have the number of people, how many people chose each castaway.
For USB?
For USB 24.
Who do people think is going to win?
Well, number 1 position with 39, Christian.
Ha. Okay.
Number 2 with 35, Charlie.
Okay.
With 26, Cirie. 23, Aubry. 19, 3 people tied for 19. Rick, Kamilla, and Joe. With 16, Coach. Stephenie 15, Genevieve 13, as well as Dee and Ozzy. Tiffany had 12. Colby had 10 people choose him. And with 8 people choosing Jonathan, Emily, and Chrissy, Kyle had 5. Sorry, guys. Mike White had 5 people choose him. Angelina with 4. Hugh, Jenna, and Rizo with 3, and Savannah with 2.
Mm-hmm. All right.
So let's see. I guess then that would mean that 3 people lost their USB with Jenna, and then the 5 for Kyle.
Okay. Well, we're certainly looking forward to hearing what you thought about the premiere. If you'd like to join us for the listener feedback show on Saturday, you can call the voicemail line at 206-350-1547 or toll free 844-643-8737. You can record your own audio or type it up and send it to us in an email to joanneandstacyshow@gmail.com. Feedback's due noon Eastern time on Saturday. We ask that you keep it in that 3-minute range. Looking forward to hearing what you thought about the 3-hour premiere. How did your assessment of the castaways change after this episode? Who do you think's playing the best? Who's still in jeopardy of being voted out next? And who are you most impressed with overall? Looking forward to hearing you. Anything else?
No, I think that covers everything.
All right. Have a good one.